Hello, everyone. It's Friday. It's the Friday edition of Travel the World as a Speaker. I'm so excited that you are here. It's been a very interesting day today. So I will have to tell you, I'm a little off my game just a little bit. It's been a very interesting day, but we are going to talk about networking to market yourself as a speaker. So every Friday we talk about marketing yourself as a speaker, and we should always talk about networking. It is so important to getting on stages, to meeting people, to making connections. It's building those relationships, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Of course, I am Phylecia Jones, the host of Travel the World as a Speaker, and we do the two things that I absolutely love, and that is talk about speaking and talk about traveling. And we try to put it together so that you can leverage public speaking so that you can travel the world. Now, over the last few years, I've been able to leverage my ability not just to speak, but the content that I put out there to go to some amazing places around the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. So I want to make sure you get all of these extra tips so that if you do love traveling, if you do want to go to some amazing places, I want to help you do it through public speaking. And especially if you're here to leverage speaking to grow your business, grow your brand, make some money. We can do all of those things today. Now typically I come to you with a travel story. I will be honest, I actually don't have one for you today because I had some business things that I had to take care of that kind of really, took over the entire day. So those of you who are business owners, or you've been in a situation where you have things planned and then something happens and it throws you off, you know what? It happens. There's not much you can really do about it. But one thing I did learn today, for any of you who are running a business, you're running a business around speaking, you're trying to grow your brand. What I have learned over the last few years of business, this will be my 7th year in business. This is 7th year in business as an entrepreneur. My 2nd year with iFind You Close. And one thing I will say, business is an ongoing lesson in being able to speak up for yourself and know your worth. That is it. Even when you are trying to leverage speaking so that you can travel, do all of these amazing things, you have to always go in with the mindset of knowing your worth. Once you know your worth, it won't be so hard to get out of weird situations where people are asking more of you than what you are willing to give, or if they're not willing to compensate you what you are willing, what you think you are worth. So that's one thing I will say. Even as a speaker, I'm actually about to take on some new clients, and we have to always remember this in that you just need to be able to speak up for yourself. You are sometimes your only advocate when it comes to business. And this is something you're going to have to think about. And you're going to have to think about this a lot as a speaker. And I know it's not really on topic today, but it's something that you're really going to have to think about as a speaker, because it is so easy to get caught up with, I'll come speak all the time everywhere and I'll do all the things. But you always have to ask yourself, what's in it for me? I know we all want to serve, we all want to help, but serving and helping others doesn't really pay the bills. Just saying. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put this in as content that we can talk about maybe on one of the Sundays. So we can talk about what's in it for me and really take a deep dive of what that looks like. So with that, let's move on to our topic of networking to market yourself as a speaker. Now, one of the things I highly recommend is that you have to network. Now, in-person networking is probably the best, but we've had some things happen in the last year. So not as much in-person networking, but you're going to have to learn how to network in person and online and in various communities. It's a little different when you go to the online networking, but the thing I want you to realize is a lot of the speaking engagements that you will get will come from networking. And sometimes it will be because you are on stage and you use that opportunity to network with other speakers, other event hosts, and other coordinators. So the way I look at speaking is it's always a networking opportunity. Sometimes even when you are speaking, it's all about networking, meeting the other speakers, meeting someone else in the room. And I will kind of take this back to what I mentioned earlier. It's the what's in it for me. Now, a lot of us, we want to do, I only want to get paid. I only want to do this. Sometimes being able to leverage that networking ability is probably is more valuable as a speaker than anything else. So sometimes some of your gigs, the only what's in it for me is to network with other people. Now you got to know what the room looks like to make it worthwhile, but it's just something I want you to think about when it comes to networking. Now, the other thing with networking, with any other business connection you're making, is all about relationships. Now, you're going to hear this a lot. Now, we always want to go for the sell. Now, you can go for the sell if you have something that people are definitely wanting and dying for. Sometimes you don't have to network with that. Now, like I go and buy jewelry. It doesn't take much for me. I don't need to meet the owner. She just needs to provide me what I want, and then I'm happy. But for a lot of us in some of the businesses that we have, especially as a consultant, as a coach, as a marketer, as a content creator, that networking piece is going to be pretty pivotal in all of the things that you are doing. It's going to be so pivotal, especially as a speaker, when you are out there articulating yourself, meeting people, telling people that you are on stage, that you're available as a speaker. It leaves an impression, and the goal is to leave a great impression. And then when you are getting gigs and you're able to network with other people, I mean, it's even better because now you are in a position of authority because you've been on stage and you have taken the time to network with others. That is so valuable. I really want you to pay attention to it. So here's the thing, networking, how to get started. So when we get back to meeting in person live on a regular, consistent basis, you need to start meeting the people local to you. And I know a lot of people say, oh my gosh, I really don't want to network, but it really is important that people see your face, they can remember who you are. And also you need to take the time to research so that you are networking in the right places. Not every place is the right place for you to network, okay? It's absolutely not the right place for you to network. But if you do your research, you can find an amazing networking group. So I want you to start networking that way locally. Just so that people will know who you are. You can have some great advocates, and you can also land some gigs that way. The next thing is when you are going to your next conference, or if it's in relation to a speaking gig, networking at a conference. Now it costs money to go to a conference. That's why I do like speaking at conferences, because you can get in for free. So you gotta make a whole strategy about it. But networking at conferences is a pretty amazing thing as well. So now you've taken your local networking and just made it bigger. And so now you get to incorporate networking with people in person and then bringing those relationships back home so that you can network on whatever your favorite social media platform is. So that's why you want to constantly build these relationships. You want people to see your face. You want people to see what you're out there doing. Because if you're able to network with somebody who has stages, when you go, and when I say stages, they run events, they book speakers, or whatever it is, you can network with them in person. Then when they connect with you over your social media, they can say like, oh my gosh, like, what is it that you do? And now you have somebody who might be a fan, who might be an advocate, who might be your next client, or who might refer you to another speaking gig. So I want you to remember that. And the last thing when it comes to networking, you need to network online. Find you a networking group online. Now, this was interesting. I was talking to someone, and they don't like spending money on their business. Whew, I got to tell you, if you're not spending money, don't be surprised when your business doesn't grow very well. But I understand, you're kind of apprehensive about spending money, but this is the one time I would say paying for an annual membership to an online networking group might be in your best interest, because now we're solely networking with people online for those online events, those online summits, those online, group chats. You want to be able to network in all of these places, because at the end of the day, your goal is to make sure people know your name. And if you are just sitting at home, not talking to anyone, it's not really going to help as a speaker. You have to start getting out there so people can see your face, understand what you're talking about, and start telling people about your brand. This is going to be the biggest thing that'll get you to where you want to go as a speaker. So with that, that's all I have for you on this Friday. I'm not going to keep you that long because I know we got parties to do. I don't have a party. I've been thinking about making a banana pudding. Southern style. If you know, you know. I don't do that other stuff. But I've been thinking about banana pudding or um, a chocolate chip cheesecake. I don't know. I'm feeling like really sweet. I'm probably won't do any of this stuff because I don't even know what's for dinner. But with that, I want to thank you so very much. So we'll be here. I will be here tomorrow morning. We're going to talk about how to make money as a speaker. I'm not really sure what our topic is, but all you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel or to us on Instagram, and you'll eventually find out what we're going to talk about. So take care of yourself. Have an amazing evening. Don't party too hard, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye.